Hello, bonjour. Today we will do a Nanaimo bar. It's so good, so good. And of course, everything is with whole food ingredients. As you know me. We start with our food processor and we put it on our scale exactly, turn the scale to 0, and we have 50 grams of shredded coconut. So shredded coconut, 50 grams. There we are. And then we add basil nuts. Basil nuts are 60 grams, so that brings us to 110. There we go. And then we add pitted dates. I like to use the 𝗕𝗏𝗀. And we need 60 grams. So 170, just checking as I go that there are no pits left behind. That would ruin it. And then we have cacao powder. And we need, I'm just going to take another spoon for that. We need 4 grams. So 174. And there we are, as simple as that. On our food processor. You need to process the ingredients until, it depends on your food processor, it depends on your blade. It was a little rough at start because my dates were cold. I just received them from the supplier, so it came from the truck. They were cold. So it's better when they are room temperature. That's why my food processor was kind of dancing. So then when you put it in your hands like this and you close, when it forms a ball, then it's ready. So it's ready. Okay. Let's put this aside. And now we need a Pyrex dish. I'm going to be right back. There we go. I am back. You can, so the way I'm doing it with that Pyrex dish that is smaller, it's like maybe a 6 by 6 inch by 6 inch or 7 inch. Yeah, maybe 7. You can do it do a rectangular though, I suggest. Or you can, look, do what you want after you tried it the way I do it. Then you can, judge if you want the bar to be smaller. My bar is taller. And so, yeah, so you decide, which style you want. Okay? All right. Then we use parchment paper. I have a pair of scissors right here. So parchment paper, you need to line the dish. Okay, so we're lining the dish with the parchment paper, push it down, and in each corner, you create a fold. Go. Just like that. It will stay down once we put the mixture in it. Okay, then you put there we go. Now it's staying down. Put the crust, that's the crust that we just did. So you put it down, and then, of course, that keeps your paper down in place. Then I use a rice paddle. Definitely have something in my throat. You use a rice paddle, and you simply push down. You can use your hand, but if you start from the beginning using your hand, the heat of your hand, the mixture will stick to it. So I start with the rice paddle, And it's nice because it's rounded, so it goes in the corner. And then you can finish with your hand. Make sure that's really, really, really compressed. There we go. So now this part is done. So that's our crust. It is as simple as that. The next step is we're doing, I should have got my stuff first. I need to get the blender now. Just a second. Now the recipe I'm making, I need to use a small blender. If you don't have a small blender jar like this one, double the recipe if you have a bigger jar. Now the other thing is I'm using as well, this is a Blendtec. It has that little lid here, and then I can spin it around. You might have a Vitamix with a plunger, so you can use that too. But with my Blendtec, I find that this is just awesome. It really makes my mixture creamy. Love it, love it, love it. Okay, so the next step now is we will add date syrup. I will just move all those ingredients out of the way here, except I'm going to need this again. So I need date syrup. We're just going to go through the ingredients. Remember the mise en place? Lemon juice that you do yourself, because otherwise it tastes metallic in the store. This is coconut cream, cashews, and then we need cacao butter. That's the first step, cacao butter, salt and vanilla, and my Irish moss. As usual, you can read about the Irish moss, of course, how important it is to add it to your food because of the minerals that are in it that we might not have as much in our food anymore. So when the ground is depleted, you don't have as many minerals. The sea moss comes from the sea, from the Caribbean Sea, actually. So we need 68 grams of date syrup. And date syrup is simply, when you make it, is the same weight of dates and water. There we go. This is our date syrup. I'll put it here as well. Actually, I need that too on the second, on the next round. So I'll leave it out. Then we need 48 grams. So 68 plus 48, 116. 48 grams of whoopee. There you go. Made a bit of a mess here. When the bottle is very full, that's what happens. It's best when it's not so full. And then we add 20 grams. Well, this one, I'm going to be more careful. I'm going to use the spoon. 20 grams, so 116 plus 20 is 126 of the coconut butter. Look at this. So good. And then 240 grams of the cashew. So we were at 126, 240, 346. Those numbers are on your recipe. They're on the far left. 346. My cashews are falling on the side there. Right? And then we need cacao butter, 48 grams. So 394. It's really good to add the cacao butter. Oh my gosh. It really adds a beautiful, beautiful flavor to it all. And then we need to add a pinch of salt and a pinch of vanilla, but only vanilla powder. Very important, just the powder. And then our sea moss. Always, always, there is a little spoon in your bag here. Little spoon like this. Oh, you know what? Actually, I have something else. So yes, it comes in the powder, but you can also do the gel. I'm going to do the gel. I like to add the powder when I don't have the gel on hand. You can add the powder, but I do have the gel. So let's do the gel. And then we'll do 10 grams of the gel. There we go. Perfect. And then we blend. So now I'll just bring my blender closer so you can see better. And also, there you go. I have to turn it because I have to turn this at the top. So it keeps moving. It's very important. So. There we are. As quick as that. Whoa, yes, yes, yes. Beautiful, beautiful and creamy. Totally creamy. That's awesome. Let's keep all that yumminess here. And now we will pour it in our dish. There we are. And you can also see that my spoon is called a spatula. It's from Rubbermaid. And what's neat about it is that it picks up like a spatula because it's really easy to clean the blender with it. But also it has a concave form here that collects the ingredients. That's awesome for that. There we go. And then my trick, you know my trick, right? With my chopstick. So we can move the cream around. There we go. Move it around in the dish. There. And then we simply put this in the freezer for not that long, maybe like 20 minutes, just so that it solidifies a bit. And so when you put your chocolate layer on top, it doesn't mix with the bottom. Okay, so I'll be back in a few minutes. Hello! So now we'll do the second layer. It went in the freezer for a little bit, so it's hard enough I can go ahead and do the second layer. And simply, blender on the jar, you know me. And then we start with 66 grams of date syrup. Let's put the scale on. 66. And as you know, the beauty of sweetening with dates is that it's not processed sugar. And I'm telling you, at my cafe, people were just loving it, having diabetes or, problem with sugar. They say, I can have everything on your menu. I just love it. So that was so easy for them. And then we have 22 grams of coconut oil. Coconut oil. So that brings us to 88. There we are. And then we have 96 grams of cashews. So 184. And the cashews are soaked, of course. The same with before they were soaked. I forgot to say that. The cashews are soaked. Then we add the cacao butter again. Yum, yum. Cacao butter, 14 grams. And then we add lemon juice, half a teaspoon. Oh, where's my whole, all my half teaspoon are in the, or in something else. So I'll take this out here. Half a teaspoon of water, half a teaspoon of lemon juice, and of course, my 𝗬𝗔. This time I'm taking the darker color, and then it's 10 grams. And what that does as well is the 𝗬𝗔 makes it more creamier. Oh my gosh. And 𝗬𝗔 is an emulsifier. So it makes it, you know, the creaminess that you get. It's not, when you use a old food emulsifier, it's fine. The microbiome doesn't mind. But if you use 𝗥𝗘𝗖𝗜𝗣𝗘 and 𝗥𝗘𝗀𝗇𝗏 and what's the other one? I have it on the tip of my tongue. That the microbiome doesn't like it so much. So I would strongly suggest you don't do that. So use the 𝗬𝗔 instead. Like when you make your milks, you know, or cream or dressing, use the 𝗬𝗔. Okay, and then we're going to spin this again. There you go, as simple as that. And yeah, creamy, creamy. Now the next step is we add the cacao powder, and we need 22 grams. So you can put your scale at 0 or look at the numbers that you have on your scale and do the mental calculation, which is very good. It really practices to keep that. Keep your mental calculation sharp. So that's good for that. All right, and whoopsies, and we mix it again. There we go. Let's mix it one more time. And you might say, but again, it's not dark like, you know, the Nanaimo bar. The chocolate on top is darker. Not that you can add more cacao powder to make it darker. It's more a question of cacao and cocoa. So cacao is raw. That's what I was told. Maybe they use it for roasted as well. Cocoa is roasted. So it's darker in color, but it's also not the same taste. Strongly don't recommend to use cocoa. Definitely use cacao, and it's a raw cacao powder. So it has all the ingredients, all the nutrients, sorry. It really has the antioxidant, and it doesn't have the sugar. Because, you know, people might get the dark chocolate bar, they say, but if it has, you know, that white processed sugar, I don't know for the coconut sugar. I would imagine there is more nutrients in it. But the cane sugar, bad news. As you can see, it's a creamy texture again, of course. And then a little trick here. As you know, with the chopstick, we're just spreading the mixture that way. And it makes it so easy, right? There we go. So that way you don't lose your chocolate along the side. It really just stays on your, and you can do a little design if you like, you know, little swirls. There you go. Just like that. And now that will go in your freezer and set, you know, 2 hours for sure. It depends again on your freezer, but 2 hours for sure, or even more. And then once it's set, you can cut it, and then you can keep it in your fridge up to 7 days, or back in the freezer, so you don't eat too many. But let me tell you, it's also delicious when it is frozen. Remember, when you have whole food ingredients, you really fill your body with the nutrients that it needs. And it really, the communication, like it's a direct line of communication. Your body knows whole foods, and it will use what it needs, it will get the nutrients that it needs, and it will keep it, like giving that energy, but that healthy energy. So that's why it's a healthy indulgence. Bon appétit. Hello, bonsoir. Now I will show you the last step for the Nanaimo bar, but I cut some already, and I forgot to do the video. But anyway, you will understand. It's very easy to cut, very, very easy to cut. So we have the, imagine that it's a one piece, right? Imagine that, please. So you have your one piece. And then, of course, you choose however you want to cut it, you know, whatever size you'd like to cut it. But what I did myself is I used my ruler, and I divided in 3. So I had 18 centimeters. So I did 6, 6, 6. And then I had 14 centimeters that way. So I divided in 7. And then what you do is, so you use your ruler and you will mark just at the end here, a little mark on the bar where you need to cut. When you cut, that's the other part that is important. Let's say that I'm cutting down the bar here. Between each cut, you have little bits of crust and things that are on the knife. So you wipe it. I'm just going to put it here so you can see as well, top view. So you wipe it. And you will cut again the other side like this, like I did, you know, cut the other side. And then you wipe it. But you always wipe it in the same. You don't have to change the rag. The key is that you put your knife and then you press and then you wipe it. So you can wipe it always in the same place. You don't have to change the rag. So that's easier for that. Okay, so that is done. So imagine that, please. Thank you. And now let's just put it, there you go again, put the top view so we can see that nicely. And look at this. Look at this beauty. It is so good too. It's just amazing. And then this is a coulis. I will give you that recipe as well. It's very precise. You have to do it exactly so that it has a texture. Otherwise, you won't be able to do the little design I'm doing right now. So what I do is it's my daughter, 𝗕𝗏𝗘, that came up with this idea. It's a beautiful idea. So you do 3 little dots, and then you use a toothpick, and then you run the toothpick through, and then you make a design that way. And what it does is then you don't have to have a piece of fruit or something like that with it. Let me just do it again on the other side here. So I can show you one more time. And you can also choose to do it on more than one side. I mean, it's your plate, right? So the idea is that you run the toothpicks through it. You can even go around the plate. You can, like, let's say you would do a cake and it's on a pedestal kind of thing to put the cake on. You can put those little dots all around before you put the cake, and then you can do that design as well, which is just, it's lovely. It's just a lovely presentation. So there you are. You have your Nanaimo bar right here. Right here, and delicious. Oh my gosh, this is so good. Actually, I think I don't have a fork, but I'm just going to steal a bite from this one. Oh, oh, this is so perfect. You really taste the layers. It's not overly sweet. It is just perfect. Enjoy.